Yeah, so we got the Fantastic Four trailer here. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I love some things about it. I don't like some things about it. We're gonna talk about both of them. We're gonna discuss it, and then hopefully in the comments below by the end of the video, you'll let me know if you agree, disagree, or what you loved and didn't love about the trailer. But Marvel Studios Fantastic Four, the official teaser trailer. This is really a teaser trailer. It really feels like a teaser trailer, and it's here. And we're gonna talk about it. Let's jump into it. And so we're just going to let this run. Again, this is going to be on mute, and we're just going to let this run so we can kind of see the different things. I can tell you right off the bat, I love the look of it, and I love this beginning intro because you see the aspect ratio of the screen. Almost looks like it's on a 50s, 60s type of television. I love Pedro Pascal's choice of his cadence in this. I really think his cadence and the voice he is using for this film, I really, really like it a lot. And if you've seen the trailer, you know what I'm talking about. Vanessa Kirby just looks really classy. I think they look really great as Reed and Sue. And again, I just love this aesthetic, man. This really kind of feels like it's its own thing, which I think Marvel really needs to be right now. Is like every movie for right now, even if they do connect later on, they need to kind of feel like its own thing. And Fantastic Four feels like its own thing just early on in the trailer, which I really, really like. And we can kind of let this go a little bit. And they're talking about, hey, we're going to have dinner Sunday at 7, no matter what. And we're all here. And then right here, you can kind of see the Marvel Studios, and then it expands to the full screen. And then you see the Baxter building here. You see Herbie. What I really want to see is when it goes to this full screen here. So we can kind of already see with the marketing of this movie that we're seeing a lot of, they're really, really leaning into the time period aspect of this. So what that tells me is either one or two things: that either A, that's obviously going to play a huge role in the movie, and they already know that, like, hey, this is going to help it feel more of a different thing than the rest of what we've been having with Marvel. That's more of a modern thing. It feels modern. This, we're going to kind of take it back a little bit. And with the aspect ratio changing, the other thing it kind of tells me is that there could be some different time traveling aspects to this. There could be some different time periods being taken place in this, because the fact that they show that in the trailer with the aspect ratio, now that could be just a little gimmick that they threw in the trailer, but I believe that we're going to see that in the movie, that maybe it'll, whether it be flashbacks, flash forwards, alternate views of whatever, I think we're going to see that. And I think that the reason we're seeing that TV aspect ratio early on in this trailer is that because we're going to be getting footage like that. Like, this is almost going to feel like they're like the Beatles or something. They're going to be like this huge, I don't want to call it like a, celebrities, but that's what they're going to be. I mean, they're going to be like this huge celebrity family. And, during that time, you can kind of see it with the marketing, with the space, with all the space imagery and the launch sequence. Like, all this stuff is going into the marketing of the movie. And I think that's a really smart decision by Marvel with this Fantastic Four film. And again, I'm just going to let this run through a little bit. You see the opening, you see the Baxter building, you see Herbie, which looks great. And here's the thing right here, who looks really, really good. We're going to talk about, but there's a few parts in this trailer where I feel like, I get it if you take like a screenshot or a still of it and you're just looking at the still. I get it. I there is parts where it definitely, you can tell it's CGI, and some people are going to prefer the Michael Chiklis version of this character. Well, the one thing I do like about this, and when it comes to the action sequences and the different movement, I do like the sound they do when the thing is moving around. When Ben is moving around, you can kind of feel it's like rocks kind of going, kind of mixing with each other. And I do love the sound design of that. And again, man, just aesthetically, I just love the set design, just love the aesthetic stuff. So far, so good in the trailer, right? So far, so good for me anyway. When I'm breaking down this trailer, when I'm watching this trailer, I've seen it a few times, and I really like this connection here. So just this scene right here, with the way he's talking to Herbie, you can already tell that there's going to be a really good dynamic here between the Thing and Herbie. I really think that that's going to be like a fun, playful, like almost like a really heartfelt relationship within the movie. That's just what I'm kind of getting from the teaser. And this is what a great teaser trailer does, is it introduces us to the characters, introduces us to the imagery, the vibe, everything else, and kind of keeps the plot details under wraps. So I really, really think that they've done that. Again, 35 seconds into the trailer, we're going to keep it rolling. This July, and then this is when it gets to the kind of the epic part of it, the kind of epic part of it. And again, here we go back with the aspect ratio. So again, this kind of tells me again, I'm not going on a limb here. This is pretty self-explanatory. But this kind of tells me, I don't know what you guys think, but this kind of tells me that we're going to be seeing a lot of this different footage. Like we're going to be seeing a lot of families sitting at home watching this launch sequence happen. We're going to be we're going to be seeing footage almost like it's Apollo 13, almost like it's, stuff like that, where you kind of show people in space, you kind of see the launch sequence, the launch event, and then you show family members, people in the community kind of watching this, sitting in front of the TV, the whole country coming together to watch these astronauts, go and try to do whatever they're trying to do here. And so I think that that's going to be the interesting thing, is like, what is the mission? Like, what is the mission that the Fantastic Four are going on before they obviously become the Fantastic Four? How does that happen? Are we going to get a lot of different fractured timelines? So basically, like, are we going to see this happen and this is going to be the opening, or are we going to get this and then we're going to get, present day stuff and then go back to this, and you're kind of having that kind of splice in and out of the timeline throughout the movie. So we're going to see that, and I'm interested to see that. I really like the costume design, the set design. I like the spectacle they're kind of making this out to be, with the space angle in the 50s and 60s type of vibe and feel. I really like that a lot. And you kind of see here, he's talking about couldn't turn invisible, Ben wasn't a rock. You see this right here, and you see that them two right here, this relationship, I'm very interested to see the dynamic here. Again, just two great actors here. And then you kind of see this shot right here where he's kind of loose. So you're going to get that with the thing, which you can expect. This, like, he's going to have the toughest time of anybody. Like, he has definitely transformed more than anyone, and this is going to be another way for them to really get this character right, really get this. I really feel like he's going to be the heart and soul of the movie, throughout the whole movie. I really do. And, this is kind of the scene that I've seen a lot on social media, where like the people are saying this doesn't look too great. And again, the thing is this movie doesn't come out till July. And throughout the trailer, we don't really get to see any of Reed Richards's, powers or anything. And I truly believe that A, hopefully they're keeping that as a surprise. And also B, they're probably still working on that in post-production. A lot of this effects work is probably not completed. And so that's why we're getting this teaser trailer here. And we can kind of see right here with Johnny Storm. Let me rewind that, actually. Let me rewind it a little bit more. So we're going to take a look here with Johnny Storm. And this is the character in the movie right here that I am extremely interested to see. I'm feeling very confident in Joseph Quinn as an actor. Like, I think Joseph Quinn is a great actor. For whatever reason, I feel like this is the performance here that I'm almost most interested in seeing. I kind of feel like I know what I'm going to get with Mr. Fantastic, with Reed, what I'm going to get with Sue, what I'm going to get, with the Thing and, Ben. And I kind of feel like I know what I'm going to get here. But the thing with Joseph Quinn that I've noticed so far early in his career is that he is kind of play, like, he really does kind of play a lot of different characters, and I'm very interested to see how he plays Johnny. Is he going to play him super confident, almost conceited, almost a hotshot type of guy, or is he going to add a different element to this? I really think this is going to be a different Johnny Storm than we've seen so far with live action. I feel like, and again, there's not a ton to go off of course, Chris Evans's portrayal of it, but I definitely think this is going to be a different one. And you can kind of see that they're just setting up these characters throughout the whole teaser trailer. And I do think this transform scene looks good. I mean, again, the special effects I'm not too worried about, because I know that they're going to they're going to hopefully continue to work on that as the movie goes on. But right here, you can kind of see Johnny and Sue talking a little bit. You can kind of see him going into, and again, I think that Vanessa Kirby, to be honest with you, looks absolutely fantastic as Sue. Like, this is one of the highlights for me. So I said in the intro, here's a few highlights. Here's a few things. We're starting off with the highlights here. A lot of the highlights, I think, is the way they're getting the aesthetic. They're getting the timeline. They're getting introducing the characters. They're not giving too much away in the trailer. And even if you have a lot of understanding of the Fantastic Four, whether it be through the comics or just the characters in general, they're not giving you everything in the trailer. So I think there's a lot of speculation. There's going to be a lot of fun conversations to be had with this teaser trailer. But man, her in this costume, I love the costumes they went with. I love the blue. I just love the blue, the way it looks. I think her Invisible Woman scenes are going to look kind of cool. It almost has this translucent effect here, almost like you're kind of seeing a rainbow with water, through water or something like that. I just think that Vanessa Kirby is going to crush it. I mean, Vanessa Kirby is a great actress, and I'm very excited to see what she can bring to the table as Sue here. And you kind of see some of these different shots here of Johnny, of relationship, and again, pay attention to the dialogue with, like, whatever life throws at us. It's a lot of this, we'll face it together, family stuff. So it is kind of, we've been so accustomed to the Avengers and so accustomed to that stuff that they're really focusing on these four characters dynamic, which obviously that's what you could do with Fantastic Four. But let's be honest, man, that what's going to make or break this movie is going to be how the chemistry is with these four leads. And not only that, but whatever it is they go up against in the movie, whatever challenges they do face in the movie, are they going to be big enough? Are they going to be scary enough? Are they going to give them enough of a challenge to where we as an audience really rally around these four characters? And that's really interesting to be seen. Again, we didn't see any of Julia Garner, Silver Surfer character in this. We get a little peek. Let's just keep it rolling, then we'll kind of talk about it as it goes. But you kind of see this, maybe like an invasion happening right here. I love this. So I love this scene right here of the cards. It almost gives it like a Tomorrowland-esque feel to it, man. It's kind of got that like futuristic, but also, it's modern, but also like retro at the same time. I love the look of that. I think it looks really good. I'm not as crazy about these sequences, and that's one of the negatives I have of the trailer, is a lot of this stuff does seem very there is still more work to be done post-production with the special effects. I'm not saying this looks bad, but you kind of see the running. I actually think the running of the Thing looks not too bad. You got John Malkovich here. Again, a lot of speculation of who he's going to play. Could it be a villain? Could it be are they going to go alternate universes? Is this like somebody that's related to Reed? There's a lot of that in the comics where like Reed is, there's different versions, or there's like, his father, or like, this different stuff. So again, who knows what this is going to happen? Just based on this look, it almost looks like, this face kind of is welcoming a little bit, like concerning, but also like not a threat. But you never know. This could definitely be, a villain, and when I kind of was doing a little bit of the research of like who else could it be, because the first instance I had was like, okay, it's got to be like a villain, and then obviously the Red Ghost comes to mind. I saw some people say it could be like a version of a different version of Reed, could be Nathaniel Richards, could be all this different stuff. So I'm gonna have fun, like kind of speculating who John Malkovich's character is going to be. Let me know in the comments who you think it's going to be, but I definitely think he's going to play a big role. You get John Malkovich attached to your movie, it's going to be a big role, I feel like. And you kind of see this keep going, and this shot I think looks really good. I actually love this transition here. You can kind of see Pedro Pascal here going into Galactus showing up, and this is one of the most effective shots of the trailer, in my opinion, is this Galactus looking over the Statue of Liberty here. Again, Galactus absolutely gigantic. We'll see if they use him as this and also shrink his size down a little bit. I know that in from what I've read, like I know in past comics they have done that, but I'm interested to see. I do love how big Galactus is. I do love like the size and the scale of it, and I just think that would make for a really cool action sequence. But again, only so much you can go off with a teaser trailer. And then again, this shot right here, like as a family, and then this really cool shot right here looks like, almost like the superhero entrance right here, the Fantastic Four. And then you can kind of see this again. I just love the aesthetic here. I love the first steps subtitle here, and then welcome to the family, July 25th. So you're seeing that a lot with the marketing, and I think it's good. Again, the couple of negatives that I have about this trailer that I didn't love was that I definitely thought that with a teaser trailer, you want to have different questions brought up. You want to have different things to discuss. You want to give people more questions than answers. But at this point, a lot of people do already know the Fantastic Four. Like the Fantastic Four is like enough of a well-known commodity to where like people have at least heard it. It's got that brand recognition. It's got that name recognition. And so with this, I mean, I think this is just introducing us as the audience, reintroducing us to the story, to these characters. And the one thing I wish they would have had a little bit more of in the trailer was less of was to just really focus. I would have loved to have just seen this kind of scene kind of play out, like, and it's like almost like for a minute, like in this, and then something at the end of the trailer happens that's like real time, like maybe something happens to where, again, I don't know what the movie entails, but I really thought that this stuff worked really well in the trailer. And then I know they want to kind of show you different characters and stuff, but again, the unfinished visual effects, some of the shots don't look so super great. I did like the change of the aspect ratio here, and overall, I think this is a really solid trailer. And what I'm noticing a lot with movies coming out right now, and we'll go full screen here. What I notice a lot right now, and we saw this with James Gunn's Superman trailer, is we're seeing this hopeful, like almost like this hopeful look up to the sky, like type of vibe from these movies. Whereas for a while we've had like the more serious stuff, we've had the more like, the world's at stake or whatever, and that could happen in the movie. But based on how we're getting the trailers, it's focusing way more on the characters and the character moments. And so for me, a lot of the positives for the trailer are it was really cool to see the aesthetic, the 50s and 60s vibe. I think that's my favorite thing of the trailer. I loved Galactus's part in it, and I loved how we're kind of getting introduced to the characters. The couple of negatives that I had is definitely, I think that Johnny Storm is going to be a character that I'm interested to see what they do with. He was given by far the least amount of like screen time in the trailer. I don't know if they're keeping that at bay. I don't know if that means they're not super confident in like what Joseph Quinn did in the movie. I'm assuming he does great in the movie, and they're just kind of keeping that a secret. Like, they showed a little bit of his flame on type of stuff, but I'm very interested to see how that character develops throughout the movie, and I'm very excited to kind of see what his portrayal of Johnny Storm is going to be. But I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of Johnny Storm in the trailer, just as Joseph Quinn, like kind of interacting with the Fantastic Four. And then I would have maybe liked to have seen a little bit of, again, as cool as the Galactus scene was, and as cool as that was seeing it, even having the voice for a little bit would have been cool. And again, I'm somebody who thinks the less you show, the better when it comes to movie trailers. So I'm not complaining whatsoever, like in terms of like it being a teaser trailer. We're going to get a lot in the other trailer. But I was hoping for just a little bit of a voice at the end. Like maybe he finishes it at the end. Sue says as a family. But maybe when they show him, he says like one word that just kind of gets you hyped of like, oh my gosh, dude, that voice. So if they're going to go this way, I really hope they keep the voice a secret until the movie comes out, which isn't going to happen, obviously. They're going to really ramp up the marketing for this film. You're definitely going to see a Super Bowl trailer for this. You're probably going to start seeing a lot more stuff coming out like in, April and May. You'll probably get your second trailer. So it's going to be interesting to see the marketing of this, but the marketing I've so far is definitely, they're really trying to be like, hey, they're trying to take you back to that time of like the space missions, 50s and 60s aesthetic and vibe. They're kind of trying to make it feel like its own thing, which I think is a really smart thing for Marvel to do with this movie. And I think the trailer was really effective. I thought the trailer was good. I didn't think it was incredible. I didn't think it was fantastic, but I thought it was a really good, solid teaser trailer. It didn't do enough to get me like overly like more hyped than I was. Like it didn't raise the hype level for me like a ton, but it didn't do nothing to get me less excited. It kind of was about what I expected, a good, solid teaser trailer. And I'm looking forward to this movie, but I'm definitely excited to see some more footage of it. But again, as long as they kind of get the point across of what this movie is going to be and what the vibe's going to be, I'm excited to be surprised in the movies, man. So hopefully they don't give away everything in the trailers. And so that's why I do love a good teaser trailer like this. It gives us just enough, doesn't go on the plot, doesn't go into anything, introduces the characters, introduces us to this world. And I don't know, man, I was a fan of it. Good, solid trailer. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the trailer. Let me know what your favorite part of the trailer was and what part you liked the least. And thank you so much for watching. If you like this type of content, definitely hit that thumbs up button on the way out. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more stuff like this in the future. And thank you so much for watching. And as always, I'll see you next time.